In any emergency where cell phones are out and the internet is down, radio is what we've got to communicate around the area. Whether you're a yellow radio user or a ham radio user, knowing how to accurately and efficiently send and receive messages during an emergency will help save lives, reduce property damage, and facilitate recovery. In this video, you'll learn the basics of sending and receiving messages over radio, and you'll be ready to hone these skills in upcoming on-the-air practice sessions and drills. When disaster strikes, there's many places and people in the EVC area that will need to communicate. There's Emergency Operations Center, and local operations centers. There's assembly sites, temporary encampments, medical clinics, and neighborhood gathering sites, just to name a few. There will be a lot of information flowing around the area. To cover all these needs, we need people trained in radio communication. Luckily, we have the people. You are part of over 250 yellow radio users and almost 100 hams in the area. For an area our size, that's an impressive number. All of these radio users mean that we can cover all the places that we'll need to communicate, but the things that we don't have is a lot of radio channels, just 2 repeaters and a handful of other channels. There's going to be a lot of communication trying to happen over those channels. We'll need to make sure that the communication flows smoothly. Experience in timely, accurate, and efficient messaging will be key. A lot of radio messaging is quick and dirty exchanges. Does anyone have a chainsaw? Bob just showed up with the pizza. Can Susan help locate the chairs? Or tell Bill I'm taking a break. But sometimes messaging is more formal and needs to be written down for documentation or tracking purposes. Formal messages use standard formats to help organize the information and make it easier for the sender to send and the receiver to anticipate what's coming. These written messages include general messages, critical infrastructure reports, pre-assay reports, and census information. As an EVC radio user, you might be asked to send or receive one of these more formal messages. Let's say that Susan is the radio lead person at the Underhill assembly site. The site leader hands her a message to send to the EOC. This is a typical general message. The top portion is called the header. It has the to, from, subject, date, and time info. The lower portion is the message body. We'll demonstrate some simple techniques to ensure accurate and efficient handling of this message. The first is to read over the message and identify any unusual or difficult to distinguish words, names, numbers, and punctuation. Bolts could be an unusual word in a message. Unusual words are good candidates for saying phonetically. John, it's good to spell out unusual name spellings. Numbers can also be tricky. There are many ways to say this number: 2,254, 2,254, 2,254. The most consistent way to handle numbers is to call out each digit separately: 2254. The same thing applies for shorter numbers like 37, 37. Acronyms can be tricky to voice since they aren't really words, but they can sound like words, and the letters can be misinterpreted. It's best to handle these like numbers, each letter voiced separately using phonetics. In this case, Golf, November, Charlie. Braces, that's a word that might be hard to understand over the radio, so best to err on the side of accuracy and spell it out phonetically. And finally, punctuation. Punctuation is voiced directly. You just say what the punctuation is. So to handle all these tricky bits, the message sender uses pro-words. Pro-words are special words or phrases that give the receiver a heads up that something unusual is coming. Now, it's often hard to remember the phonetics or the pro-words on the fly, so it's a good idea to actually mark up the message before voicing it. Let's mark this one up. I spell is the pro-word phrase for phonetic spelling. In this case, bolts, Bravo, Oscar, Lima, Tango, Sierra, or John, Juliet, Oscar, November, or braces, Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Charlie, Echo, Sierra. Figures is the pro-word for numbers. So figures 2254 or figures 37. Initials is the pro-word for acronyms. In this case, Golf, November, Charlie. And finally, there's that period, where punctuation is voiced directly.
Now we're ready to send the message. First, Underhill needs to call Ham Net Control to let them know that they have a message. We'll listen over Underhill's shoulder.
Net Control, this is Underhill with a message for the EOC.
Now, Roger, Underhill, please give EOC a call and pass your message. This passes the net baton to Underhill so they can contact the EOC and send the message directly. Before Underhill voices the message, they need to remember that the EOC is writing this down, so they need to talk slowly and distinctly. So slowly that it seems to be painfully slow at times.
EOC, ready to copy my general message?
Ready to copy.
Please copy to EOC from Underhill. Subject, bolts. I spell Bravo, Oscar, Lima, Tango, Sierra. Date, April 2. Time, 1430. Break.
Underhill saying break at this point gives the EOC a chance to ask for any repeats or corrections. We use this pro-word break after the header and at the end of the message, or anytime to split up a long message. If the EOC got it all so far, they reply, continue. Continue.
Please copy message body. John, I spell Juliet, Oscar, November, at figures 2254. Lanita has figures 37 cases of GNC initials, Golf, November, Charlie, bolts, and braces. I spell Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Charlie, Echo, Sierra. Available. Period. End of message. Did you copy?
The EOC now repeats the message at normal speed and without phonetics or pro-words, so Underhill can verify that the EOC has it correct. I copied to EOC from Underhill. Subject, bolts. Date, April 2. Time, 1430. Message body, John at 2254 Lanita has 37 cases of GNC bolts and braces available. Period. End of message. Did I get it right?
Correct. Underhill out.
This passes the net baton back to the ham net control. Okay, let's do a quick review of what just happened. Someone handed Underhill a message to send to the EOC. Underhill marked up the message with phonetics and pro words. They then called the ham net control to let them know they had a message for the EOC. Ham net control passes them the baton, and Underhill checks that the EOC is ready to copy. Then she voiced the message slowly and clearly to make sure the EOC could write it down. Finally, the EOC read back the message to verify they had copied it correctly.
Okay, let's play out the scenario. Sometime later, the EOC has a reply that needs to go back to the Underhill assembly site. So grab a piece of paper and let's try this with you copying the message along with Underhill. In this case, I have already marked up the message. I will voice it and you copy it down. We'll check how you did afterwards. Are you ready to copy?
Hello, net control. This is EOC with one message for Underhill. Roger, EOC. Give Underhill a call and pass your message. Underhill, this is EOC with a message. Ready to copy?
Ready to copy.
Please copy my general message to Underhill from EOC. Subject, reply, bolts. Date, April 2, time 1440. Break.
Continue.
Message body. Initials, Charlie, Echo, Romeo, Tango. Figures, 3. Will stop by John's, I spell, Juliet, Oscar, November, apostrophe, Sierra, to pick up bolts and drop off figures, 9, pints of type initials, Oscar, blood, period. Break, end of message. How did you copy?
I copy.
Well, how did you do? Here's the original with my markups. If you missed anything, you'd ask the sender to fill in the unsure or blank words, as in, please fill in the word after pickup. Basically, as the message receiver, you'd go back and forth with the sender until you had the message complete and accurate. So that's it. By marking up messages with phonetics, pro words, and speaking slowly and checking for accuracy and using the pro word break, you'll ensure quick and accurate message handling. Thanks for watching. In the second video, we'll deal with sending and receiving special forms.